Gang, good evening. Welcome to week number 9. I have my own mic here on, so hopefully it's not all scuffle and all that bullshit. And we get it working because the last video I didn't have it. So we'll bring it now because I am currently sitting in Sugarloaf car park. We have started week 9 with a bang. 8 kilometres around the base of Sugarloaf. The last time, or my fastest time in this training phase, was 1:18. The longest was, I think, 1:30 something, or even 40. So I shaved off around 30 minutes that time to achieve the 1:18. And then today, I've after shaving off 9 minutes to complete that in 1:09. I'm having a chat with Dara. It was kind of just completed, and the words were like, "Don't injure yourself." And I thought he said, "Send it," so we fucking sent it. There was no heart rates, no nothing. But again, this isn't about week number 9. You may think I'm feeling bubbly, and it is because I am, it is because I am bubbly. But the main focal point of obviously this video is week 8 recap. 8-week recap. Week 8 recap was a very, very, very big week because it boosted me with a lot of confidence. Jeez, lads, I'm all over the place speaking. Maybe it's because I've had too much caffeine, or I've had it too late and I've got the jitters now and no food really on board. I'm going to go home and make chicken fajitas. That's what I'm going to have now for my dinner. Anyway, defeating the purpose. So week 8 was a big week because it would or had been the biggest mileage that I've held on a run to date. And not only was it the biggest one that I held to date, it was also probably the most important one because it started from cutoff point, which is the car park that I'm in now, cutoff point 1. From here, along Red Lane, into the farmland, into Jouse, up and around Periscourt Waterfall, back in, and back along that farmland Red Lane to cutoff number 2. Because we had never completed that cutoff phase yet. We had completed from Bray to here. We got it in 2.5 hours. And then from here into Jouse and back, which I personally think for me, for this race, the whole race is going to be tough. Don't get me wrong, I'm not downplaying, I'm not talking it down. But I think from running, like, Dara has made me cover the whole entire fucking thing. And from day one, I've covered every length and breadth of probably this race. Maybe a tiny part in Kildare Belmont that I haven't covered, but we've covered like the main part. So when I say this, I mean it. I think from here, Sugarloaf, all the way into Jouse is going to be the hardest part of the race for me. But at the same time, it's going to be my most enjoyable because I do believe from the bottom of my heart that it's probably, like, again, how fucking sappy or sad is this? Like, for being a fella who's from Ireland that lives on the east coast of Ireland, I haven't really travelled that far to the west of Ireland, so I haven't really seen all the scenery and fucking whatever. But, like, the views in here are phenomenal. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a bit soft. Like, you know, I'm not a hard lad. I'm just a soft being, but I do genuinely appreciate the trails. Obviously, there's places in the world that are phenomenal, especially after watching the UTMB there over the weekend. Like, kind of gives you a bit of FOMO, doesn't it? Like, kind of, you want to go on holidays and just be there. But yeah, so let's get into it. So week 8 consisted of a number of runs, and to be quite honest, they all geared up to accumulate mileage time on feet, but they were all gearing towards this run, which was, it was supposed to be 24.5. On my Garmin, again, like I always have to explain myself, on my Garmin it came in at like 25.3 or something, and on Strava it came in around 25.8 kilometres. I completed that run in 4 hours and 1 minute. But the run started from Kilmac car park. So where Pluck's pub used to be, there's a little car park across the way at the mini roundabout. I parked in there. I ran from there up that laneway. I took the right-hand turn to come around the right-hand side of Sugarloaf, all the way down the path here, down this path, there, into here. took a bit of a break to kind of reload my nutrition. I ran from here, Red Lane, and the whole jazz, and then back. From this cut-off point, 1, into there, back to here, I got in 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. Like, it was a tough one for me to calculate because I had obviously, the goal for the run, as Dara was explaining to me, and as I was kind of trying to allude to Dara, like, obviously he had it planned all along, and I had been thinking about it, and I've been saying it to him, and it came to fruition, excuse me. I wanted to feel some form of pre-fatigue prior to doing the cut-off 1 to cut-off 2. I wanted to see kind of like, okay, right, I have a bit of mileage, and it's not easy mileage coming up the right-hand side of Sugarloaf there. Especially, I think I accumulated, I think by the time I got here, it was around 4.8 kilometres. So from the car park to here. When I left, no, I lie. No, I don't lie. Something along the lines like that. It was either 4.8 or 48 minutes. No, it was 49 minutes. I left the car park at 49 minutes. And I think I don't know if I looked at the mileage. I was probably around 4.5 kilometres in, probably. I was looking more so the time. So from that car park to here, I had made it in 49 minutes. And all I wanted and needed to remember was, right, I left this car park. I think I gave myself 2 minutes here. I left this car park at 49 minutes, and I needed to get back here no later than 3 hours and 49 minutes. And I got back under the archway here at the car park at around, I think it was 2 hours. So I said 30 minutes, didn't I? So I think I got back here for around 3:18, 3:19, 3:18, 3:19, even 3:17. It's on my Strava. Like, it was, like, when I was able to do the maths on the fucking run, like, I'm brutal, but when I was able to do the maths on the run and figure out the time wise and stuff like that, I was like, Jesus Christ, I fucking had this in the bag. So, like, it was, I don't know, it filled me with a amount of pride. Like, it's I don't know, and obviously by the time this video comes out, I'll have replied. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not being ignorant to Dylan or to you, Joan. I think comments on YouTube, just work has been mad, so I will have replied to your comment before you guys watch this. And Joan alluded to it as well. Like, you mentioned it, Joan. Like, I mean, I've only started, and like, I'm in two minds. It's like, maybe I'm ignorant but also stubborn at the same time, that I genuinely do believe that we're given the ability to do things with ease. That's always been my philosophy in relation to coaching or training, that what we replicate within the gym for, like, longevity, strength, health, whatever it may be, should be able to equate to being able to do stuff like this. Now, could I have done this ages ago? No, because, like, I played rugby for years, then I got into kind of CrossFit functional style of training. I then went into kind of, powerlifting and just lifting barbell. So, no, there was never really a correlation. Like, did I try to dabble in that kind of crack of, like, the hybrid style of training? Of course, but, like, I could never wave it. So I had always said that I'd love to be able to, get up the mountains, get up the hills, and use what you're kind of given, or your capabilities, to be able to go and explore. And, like, I obviously have, not to get too personal, but, like, with my partner and stuff like that, like, in years to come, to have kids, I don't want to be kind of that pops or that dad or whatever that, is fucking lounging around on the couch, or his job has made him like me, sitting on my bum for hours on end, driving a Lewis and stuff like that. I don't want to be very sedentary. I want, like, to be able, and if I can do this as a hobby and a pastime, but then also be able to enjoy it too, right? So in essence, I do kind of maybe have that stubbornness that I should be able to. But then on the flip side, like, not emotional. Like, I mean, maybe I do potentially get like, when I think about it on my own. Obviously, I'm not going to do it now here, but maybe I get emotional thinking like, Jesus Christ, wow, I'm able to do it. Maybe I don't have the belief in myself, and I should. Maybe I have that mentality sometimes, of it's always running around like the victim mentality, and you need to start believing in yourself. But again, like, and I'll hold my hands up. It's been said to me before, and I'll get into this again. Like, I'm really enjoying these videos, but I'm kind of starting to think, like, what happens when I finish the eco trail? Like, what about the YouTube videos? So I really love to kind of do a bit of a debrief of like the reasoning why I did it. So I don't know whether I should go into it too much, but like, put it this way: there's been years, especially when I've been growing up as a young adult. Like, I'm 29 years of age, and I've worked in an industry for 8 years where in parts of it. So to do that cut off and that run, it was a big kind of thing for me. It was a big thing, obviously, for the training phases. It solidified consistency. I've never missed a session. I may have changed the day of a session because I've just listened to my body and said, here, Dara, listen, I've had, like, as I always keep on saying, I've had a normal 9-hour day in a drive time shift. It's like a 7 to 4. I can't. I'd rather, for instance, I've got a shift tomorrow. I'm going to be up at 4:30 in the morning, out the door for 5 a.m, start driving at 6 a.m, and I'm finished for around 12:44 in the morning or afternoon. I'd rather have that early start and then the longer run on that day, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Instead of like, oh, okay, well, he's on a normal 9-hour day, we'll give him the run afterwards. So I have never missed a session. I've always consistently hit my mileage. Now, last week was prevalent of that, because Dara had me completing a 15.4 kilometer run. It was on a Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Monday was that kind of time frame, just a mid-morning shift. I'm like, I'm not going after a long day to get out and get that done. I was like, Dara, I'm gonna have to do it on like my earlier shift that I finish the next day. Again, Dara, no problem at all. But in hindsight, was there a form of inkling? Yeah, it's gonna be a problem, because I had the 24.5 kilometer run the following day. So I pretty much had 40 odd kilometers in 2 days, back to back. So but again, I said never miss a session. So I think the consistency of it all, it solidifies it. But I think I just need to start to believe myself again. As I said before, this is not like, oh, boo-hoo, pity me type of bullshit. I'm not about that. I'm never about that. If I come across that, and if you ever see me, slap me, because I'm not. Genuinely, I'm not about that. But I do appreciate, the comments of goodwill. I genuinely do, and they do boost me with confidence. As much as I, say I don't want them, it's nice that, I do get them, and I'm still in disbelief that I get interaction on fucking YouTube. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, maybe as Joan was saying in her comment, if anyone has read it, it takes years for people to complete an ultra and blah, 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 look where you come from, and give, it actually is mad. It is mad, and it is mad that I'm just a young fella from Bray. I'm all for the town, I'm all for the area that I live in and I'm from, and I'm, do whatever. So it's just like, okay, fuck, deadly. There's a little lad on here on YouTube making a couple of videos. I might get the odd Instagram message or the odd share or something, or day one, peak week, 35.5 kilometers. That's all I'm going to say about that. And that's all I'm going to say about this week. I'm not going to let you know what I'm doing, but I'm completing. I think I'm going to be over the 60 kilometer mark in relation to running intensity. I think this week, week 8, I've hit over 56 kilometers, or I'll be hitting over 56 kilometers or even higher actually. Last week was 55 kilometer running week. This week is definitely going to be over the 60s. So that's going to be week 9. Obviously, we've got to stay tuned for that. And again, follow me on socials if you haven't. Or Strava. I'm I'm on Garmin. I just put my stuff up on Garmin, but I don't know if there's a connectivity community thing on Garmin for you, Dylan. I don't know. My Garmin is bloody ancient, so I just refresh it, get my data, and then that's it. So that's really it. The only other kind of bone to pick is that I've been kind of publicising and publishing, like, you know, all of my Strava stuff, my Instagram stuff is like, you know, Eco Trail Ultra 47 kilometer race. I actually signed up for the 47 kilometer race at the start of this year in January. I've gone back to my event master pass, whatever the bloody thing is, tickets wise, and it was honest, especially I've got a screen grab. I got a screen grab of it. And I had a consultation today. Well, not a consultation. We just had a chit chat. Dara and I. We wanted to discuss. We wanted to discuss on a video call today of our race day nutrition, and that's something that I'm going to go in depth with. I'm going to share either me voicing it, or I might show you just a tiny bit. Again, I know he mentioned something that I'm allowed to, but I'm just going to double check of how much I'm allowed to. But if I can't show you the contents of it, I'm going to explain the contents of it. But like, it is fucking, I don't know why I'm holding that F word back. I've dropped them so many times. It is bloody in depth between hydration and nutrition, kilometers, time wise, quantity. It's fucking, and then it's broken down. It's like, you know, research pay, like it's I'm gonna have to, I'll probably do it week 9. Week 9 is probably going to just discuss the 35.5 kilometer, and I'll do that. But where I was alluding to with all this is, as I was chatting to Dara on the chat, I think we had around a 2.5 hour, 2 hour and 15 chit chat. We were discussing, he's like, Jack, I've got to let you know, they've redone the website on Eco Trail, and they've highlighted it as a 46 kilometer race, right? Now, you're probably going to come to me and say, Jack, it's always been a 46. But I'm going to come back to you because if you click on the Eco Trail website and go through the 46 kilometers, in the course description on one part, on the map, it gives you 47 kilometers of the loop. If you look at the course description, it gives you 46.59 kilometers. And if you click into the fucking GPS thing that they have, it's like 46.89 kilometers. Right? So you've got around 4 different distances. Now, I couldn't give an absolute pony what it is. I'm running the race regardless. It just makes me out to be a bloody fool because I've been going 47 kilometers for the whole entire 8 weeks, 9 weeks. And I've been tagging them in posts and I'm going like 47. Anyway, but the thing that Dara is a wizard. Not only is he a wizard in relation to coaching, whether it's his full-time gig in the practice or this kind of like fun part-time thing that he does, online coaching, he's a wizard on the fucking computer. He was a wizard when I was in college with him, and he's still a wizard to this day in spreadsheets and everything. But he's a fucking memory of a goldfish. I don't know whether that's a compliment or not, but if it's not a compliment, he's a memory of whatever is smart, right? He screen grabbed the original elevation course, and they've updated fucking everything. They've updated the new elevation, and Dara's like, Jack, where has this end part been added into? And he said it's that new that even on the overview of the course elevation, you know, the categories of, you know, whatever, they've screen grabbed it to the point that the person that was editing it has screen grabbed their data from their watch on the graph, and they've publicized it on the website. So it's only as recent, like, because even the text of the fort, like, it's mad, it's nuts. So now this isn't me fucking slating them whatsoever. No, I'm not slating them. I don't give an absolute, as I said, I don't give a pony. I'm all for it. It's just more taking the piss out of myself that I've been going on saying it's 47 kilometers, and they've come back and it's 46. I'm all for it. I can't wait. Like, I've signed up for their meet and greet on the Thursday down in the Harbour Bar for fish and chips, or, well, for me, I'm getting the chicken goujons and chips, and I might horse a pint or two into me as well, just to settle the nerves, because if anything, competition, I'm riddled with nerves. I'm two ways. If you ever meet me in person, I'm either chitty chatty or I'm chitty chatty. And it's either because I'm just flowing with the conversation, I'm trying to have a bit of crack. I might be a bit standoffish because I kind of go off by the feel of people, because I either kind of, I'm like hot and heavy, like I'll try and crack a joke or something, or I'll say something stupid, and then all of a sudden the person on the receiving end might just give me the cold shot. I'm like, oh fuck. Or we go full tilt. But I'm doing the meet and greet down there on the Thursday, so that'll be a bit of crack anyway on the 26th. So I'm gonna go down and, I don't know, just go down like a lone soldier and see what the story is, because as I said, I'm riddled with nerves. I'll go in anyway. I'll always go in. I don't care how awkward it is, but like I'll add to the awkwardness, if that makes sense. Like, so if you chat to me, I chat to you. I say hello. I'll always say hello. Sorry, I hit that. I'll always say hello, but if you don't say hello, like I'll just stand there in the room of people and I'll just be awkward. I'll add to the awkwardness. I don't mind. So that's the crack there, gang. Again, apologies if like this is just, again, these YouTubes were only just, meant for me to just brain dump, fucking fart, think what I have, go with it, ramble. That's all they've always going to be. Like, I never kind of write down a piece of paper like, okay, this one I'm going to chat about X, Y, and Z. I've never, I've never done that. So, yeah. But I'm conscious of time. I don't really know. Oh, taking you out of focus, sorry. I'm conscious of time. I better get home. It's 6:30. Better go home and walk the dog and make dinner and have an early night. So by the time I wrap this up, probably around 28 minutes. Let's just call it 30 minutes of video. Again, just to recap week 8, cut-off 1 to cut-off 2, major win, 2.5 kilometers or 2.5 hours from cut-off 1 Sugarloaf car park into Joust Powers course, back around here. Perfect. Treated myself, again, if anyone has me on Strava or on Instagram, treated myself to a full sugar Coke, and Dara has unleashed the new nutritional value that I'm going to have, and it's a fucking cinnamon bun from Aldi. Jesus, lads. I got back to the car and I fucking horsed the thing into me. It was lovely. So that was the win for week 8. Big win. And then all the other runs are just mileage based. Just get time on feet. If there's any coaches' comments that I have to adhere to in relation to heart rates or pacing, again, we do highlight pacing. Like, try and keep your pace at this to equate to this heart rate if possible. We do that. But all kind of the fun stuff is done now. Like, the bigger runs are the runs that are the primarily focus, and then the ones that are like just accumulation bases are just either still sticking with Bray Head, try and get used to the incline still and stuff like that, or Kilroy, because as I said, my house is pretty much next to Kilroy. I can walk whatever way and I can get to it, or drive down the road and I'll be there in 2 minutes. So yeah. And then, as I said, week 9 that we're in now, we've just started with an 8-kilometer run around Sugarloaf, and the big one this week, this coming Saturday, is 35.5 kilometers, because it's on Saturday, because it's actually my again, getting personal, but it's my 5-year anniversary with my partner tomorrow. 5-year anniversary with my partner tomorrow, and we're going out to like a wine and cheese bar fucking thing. I'll probably have a pint of Guinness or something like that. I don't do wine. I might have to do wine and cheese and stuff on the Friday. But it's just a new place here in Bray that we had seen. So my partner and I are going to go down to that. So anyway, where I was alluding to that is it's going to be a lovely, relaxing Friday evening. We'll have a sit-in kind of meal drink there. And then Saturday morning, I'm going to get up bright and early. I'll either get up at 6 a.m. and be out the door and probably starting the run between 7 and half 7. Because, again, it's going to be around a 6-hour trot from where I'm going to be to where I'm going to go and where I'm going to go back to. If you get me. Ladies and gentlemen, they, them, good night and God bless. Hope you guys had a cracking weekend, and I hope you have a great week. Again, like always, genuinely appreciate it. Again, Joan, Dylan, I've answered your comments by the time you see this. Thank you. Connor, if you're still watching this, how's it going? I know you're still tapping away there on Strava on me, but I hope you're keeping well, and everyone else, thank you for watching and good luck. Catch you again.